Hi, Steve and Mark. Coming to you from coronavirus-infested Victoria, British Columbia. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Mark.
And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark.
Yes, it is.
Welcome or welcome back.
Yes, hello.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, it is. It's Wednesday.
Weigh-in Wednesday.
Dun,
Dun.
dun.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yes, we will. It's also hump day, middle of the week.
This is true. This is true.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I hope everyone's staying safe. Wash your hands. I just
Listen
had a
to
discussion with my mother this evening about how we are the kind of people that they should be avoiding because they are in the high demographic for catching COVID, but
Right.
you know, that was met with, well, as the term,
Disappointment.
disappointment.
Of course it is, because it's Easter.
It's
coming
Easter,
up,
you want to have family around and meet up and do
I
stuff.
know.
But
And I'm even getting like nervous, running to the store and stuff. So I've been trying not to do. I've been like limiting that, like going once and instead of, like I usually I don't know, run to the store once a day or something like that. I don't do that anymore,
I know.
It's real, and why not listen to what's going on? Anyway,
I know.
That's
stay-at-home
without
orders
saying.
during a pandemic don't care that it's a holiday. So,
I know.
but this is not forever, hopefully. So, we can
No.
catch up and have a holiday like every day. We can go like bam, 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 depending how long.
Well,
it
definitely. No, it's just a temporary interruption to our daily lives.
is. Yes, and I think there's going to be a
Temporary.
new normal after this.
Yeah,
I don't
think
think we're going to go back. I think
Like boom, right back to the way things were.
no,
No, I don't think so either.
no, we're going to have a new. It's going to look a little different. I think.
Yes,
We'll see.
We
We'll
will
see.
see. We
So-
will see. So how are you doing? How's everyone doing?
Mhm.
Are you doing good? I hope you're doing good.
Mhm.
I do.
I do too.
Because I don't know. It's just I look forward to the videos every day to say hello and check in with everybody, and I do hope everyone's okay. I've been getting a lot of messages, and everyone's doing good. Seems to be.
Yeah.
I like that. So that's pretty good.
Yeah,
But so we have Weigh-in Wednesday today.
we do.
And let's see, we have a fun week coming up still.
We do.
And thank you to our video greeting today. Love it, love it, love it.
Yes,
Get your video greetings
Yes,
in.
they-
We're running low.
keep
We're running
'em
low. We
coming.
only have a few more. So we need a couple more.
Mhm.
So send us your video greetings. Email,
Or Messenger.
instant
Facebook
messenger. Yes, because
Mhm.
we need more to put at the beginning.
I know.
We can always recycle, like go back to the beginning.
And you have to be like the same dozen people.
Because it's
because there's
few weeks
365
now.
days in a year, and we post every day.
This
So-
is true.
Now there's some videos we don't. Like Coffee Talk, I don't.
Yeah, you
I haven't
usually don't.
posted a
Yeah,
viewer
no,
greeting
you
during
usually
Coffee
don't
Talk.
do that.
I
No,
don't know. It just never comes up.
I know.
I don't know.
But I think because you're like on your own. I'm
Well, I
not
do the
there
filming and
nagging
everything
you
and doing it. Well, the thing is though, the viewer videos that come into our email, which you check,
which I take care of. Yeah.
and the Facebook page, which you
Which I
manage.
manage, yeah.
So I don't see them unless you let me know, and I
Yeah.
don't go looking for them when I'm doing the whole video.
Right,
So.
right. And I'm not here usually when you're putting that together. Well, that makes sense then.
Plus, do you really want to be associated with what I talked about during Coffee Talk?
That's a very
Do you
good
want your
point.
face on that video? Just putting it out there. Just saying.
But tomorrow you have another segment on your own.
I do. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about, in kind of the spirit of the original caregiving, caretaking series, where it was not so much about a person or a couple, but about a set of behaviors.
Yeah.
Trying to take the same tone, talking about, we'll say, e-begging, taking advantage of one's audience, shame, maybe?
Shame, maybe,
I don't
something
know.
like that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And not to put too fine a point on it, I'm probably not going to be as kind when talking about it.
Okay.
Only
Wow.
because when it looks like vulnerable people are being taken advantage of, and without dipping too far back into the past, there's a pattern of this.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's worth commenting on.
Yeah, no.
Because why not?
think
It's on
it is.
YouTube, and I got a whole day to film. So,
Yeah.
so why not?
Yeah.
I took tomorrow off just for this.
Ah, that's good.
But a discussion of
Yeah.
that sort, because it's very, even in the comments when I said I was going to bring it up, there's fine lines all over the place for what someone might think is dropping hints.
Right,
You know,
right.
out and out
saying and da-da-da-da.
I need
That's
this,
true.
will you get this for me?
Mhm.
Mark would have wanted it this way.
Mark.
Mark would have wanted me to have oranges that are easy to peel. So, you know.
That's tomorrow.
But that's just a sample. And then, of course, we have, what do we have?
Are you done talking about tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm over. We'll just cap that there for now. So,
Oh, okay.
I'll probably be nicer. Whenever I think I'm being mean, people always comment
You're
and say,
not
"You're
mean.
so much nicer than I would have been."
I know.
That
You're not
bitch,
mean. You're
you
not.
know.
No, you do. You're very, very even-handed, and you kind of state things the way that you see them.
Well-
and that's not neither being mean, nice, not that you're... You know what I mean?
Well-
but there are... No, there are a lot of meaner... Is that a word? Meaner? More mean?
Meanerist.
People out there that do videos such as this, you know, and no, you've always, in my opinion, of course I'm partial, you've always been very easy-handed.
Well, like anything,
even-handed.
it's meant to be a discussion, and this is like
Exactly.
a jumping off point for that discussion.
Yeah.
Like, let's use this example to
Right.
really delve into the topic.
Right.
And we'll refer back to it frequently. So,
And then, well, Friday, I hope you didn't do your Easter eggs yet,
we're dying Easter eggs.
because we're gonna dye some Easter eggs.
Yes.
With you.
How many did you ask if it was enough?
3 dozen.
He's like, is that enough? How many fucking people live here? Is that
We want
enough?
to show what we're doing. I don't know. Well, all right. Well, we'll have
A lot of egg salad,
we
a
have
lot of eggs. That's-
but it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. I like dying eggs.
And then Saturday is our anniversary party live.
Mhm.
I'm super stoked for
Yeah.
that. That's really cool.
I know. You get a double header actually that day because you get
Yes.
coffee talk during the day with me. And then we'll have the live at night, 7 p.m.
7
Eastern
o'clock.
time, Saturday
Yeah,
night.
that'll be cool.
So it's a reason to do your hair. It's a
Yeah,
party.
right?
So
And then, of course, Sunday's Easter. And, gosh.
then you're back to
then
Mondays
it's
with
back
Mark.
to Mondays with Mark. Wow.
You better get crafting.
I know, right? Like, oh my gosh.
Get two.
But, I don't know. I guess back to the topic. Today is Wednesday.
Back to weigh-in Wednesday.
So.
Well, let me give you my weight and let Mark give you his weight, and then we'll talk a minute.
Can you tell we're like, I feel like we're like.
I feel that ring light feels like a so.
I know,
like
I
the
know, I
overhead
know,
light
I
during
know.
an interrogation.
I know.
So last week I weighed in at 190.4 pounds,
Yes.
and this week I weigh 193. And Mark, how much did you?
last
weigh
week I was 206. This week I'm 205 even.
Okay, so you lost,
Yeah.
and I gained 2 and
One.
about
one
2.5
pound.
pounds myself.
Yeah.
So here's the skinny. If you look back 6 weeks at my weight, I was this exact same weight 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about you, but I'm not particularly interested in watching someone lose the same 2-3 pounds over and over and gain them back.
Me neither. I know.
And it's, when I had originally been a weight loss channel, it was more. You know, I'd be losing 2, 3, maybe 5 pounds a month, modestly, but there was progress. You could see that I looked different. The clothes were different. The non-scale victories were different.
Yeah.
Because I was a heavier person starting to be able to do things that a thin person can do.
Yeah.
This isn't interesting to me.
No.
So the question would be, of course we still do OMAD and we still care about our health and
Of
try to make
course.
good
No,
choices.
We do.
But is it worth checking in on weekly?
I know.
Or could we use this time to put some other content in its place?
Mhm.
Still check in. I mean, if Mark puts nose to the grindstone and lose 20 pounds, he gets a video for that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's a big,
Yeah.
because that's a big deal and a great accomplishment. But maybe not every step along the way. And is this a way to get out of having to do weekly weigh-ins?
See, I don't know. We were talking about this before the video, and I said,
Is that the subconscious thing?
Exactly. I said to him, I mean, like, are we really just gonna do... I mean, it's been, since we started, it's just been the same, basically the same weight the entire time.
Yeah, it's more than like
You know,
weight
like,
maintaining.
and I
any
personally
large
didn't
change.
find that... I don't find that interesting either. I
Well,
mean,
no.
I think we were holding on to Weigh-In Wednesday for 2 reasons. One, to hold some type of thread to the very original content of this channel. It
Yeah.
originally started off as a weight loss channel, a weight
Yeah.
loss journey. Smoker's Help In, it was called. I wasn't part of it or anything. So we discontinued that with
Yeah.
Weigh-In Wednesdays and different diets we tried and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we kind of wanted to pay homage to or try to hold on to that tiny little bit
And
of
wait,
things from the
maintenance
beginning.
was still sort of a goal.
It
too.
was, and is. But
It is,
I'd
but-
like to lose, but
Yeah.
I feel like I have, in my own personal experience, I feel like I have a lot of other things on my mind right now,
Mhm.
and it's been difficult to solely focus on this, and
Yeah.
that's when I tend to have the best results.
Mhm.
Now, that's a lesson learned,
Yeah.
but am I willing to put forth the energy to focus all of my energy? These are the things that I'm thinking about in my head,
Yeah.
about this. But the point was, and then the second reason why we continued to do Weigh-In Wednesdays were hopefully to maybe relate to people that are going through the same thing, or hopefully show some things that we're doing that are working and aren't working.
Yeah.
You know, like be inspirational in a way, or maybe share some tips and tricks. But I mean, it's been the same every Wednesday since January.
There's nothing inspirational about losing 3 pounds and gaining it back in 6 weeks.
And then losing it again.
That's
and then
not
gaining
obese
it
to
back.
beast.
Yeah.
That's not. It's not Charlie Gold. It's
So these were the things we were thinking about.
yeah. So just putting it out there, and there's no, of course, no offense in saying cut that segment.
Oh no.
We're asking you to give that opinion.
Yeah,
so,
we're trying to
so please
maybe
do.
take a poll and see what you
Yeah.
think. Weigh-In Wednesdays, yay or nay?
Yeah.
Should we continue with them or not? Obviously, we're still going to do a Wednesday video, but
Of course, yeah, there'll be a video on Wednesday, but what will the content
and
be?
maybe we could check in on maybe we could change it to like Wellness Wednesday and theme it around something to do with wellness or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just was thinking that it's so run of the mill,
Mhm.
the Weigh-In Wednesdays,
Yeah.
no matter what we do, it still has that overshadowing of let's weigh in.
Yeah. Well, weight, like you said, for wellness is one measure of health, and there's many. Mental, physical, spiritual, psychiatric, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
well, let's just put a pin in this here. We'll leave it there and
see what you guys think. I'd love to hear what you think about that. I mean,
If you're interested in watching us do that,
maybe
we'll do it 3 times a week.
I mean, what if people, what if they say, oh yeah, you know what, we want you to keep with the Weigh-In Wednesdays, but we want to see you lose weight. Then what?
Okay, Chantal, whatever. Sure, Jan. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I would really love to hear your ideas on that.
Okay. Thank
Totally.
you. Now, on a semi-related topic on how people gain weight, you
Well, we did promise you something extra today.
Mm-hmm.
We did. So anyway, this was another viewer's request, and so we went into the kitchen and we baked again.
We did.
Yes.
Well, you baked. I
Well, you filmed.
shake and bake, and I helped. I held the camera. I didn't ruin it. I guess that helps.
No, of course you didn't ruin it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What, like using paprika instead of cinnamon?
I did that. That anecdote came up. I forgot. I was staying with my brother and his wife, and I don't think they had kids. And I thought I'd be a hero and get up early and cook because I'm one of the cooks in the family. Put paprika instead of cinnamon in the French toast. They were polite. I think only one piece got by somebody first. I don't think I told anybody until after.
So after. Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, so I baked homemade cinnamon bread, and it's kind of like part 2 of the last baking video, if you remember that at all, So this was by viewer request, and let's go into the kitchen and let's bake some bread.
Sounds good.
All right?
All right.
All right, let's go.
Let's rock and roll.
Okay, so we're in the kitchen and we're about to bake again, right? This is actually a viewer request, and this is for a cinnamon bread. Homemade cinnamon bread, of course. All right, and it's my pleasure to do it. So, if you remember our last video, we made homemade white bread, and then I showed you how to make it into a chocolate almond kind of swirl bread, a sweet bread. We're going to do the same thing today, okay? But it's a tiny little bit different, but what we'll do is we'll put the link down in the description, or maybe we'll be fancy and put a little card right above me, so you can go back to that original video, okay? But just to recap, for this recipe, you'll need 6 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 4.5 teaspoons of rapid rise yeast, which is 2 packets, okay? And if you want to know the difference between all the yeasts, check out the last video. I explained it there. 2 teaspoons of salt, and then you're going to need 1 1/4 cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of butter, and then in addition to that, for, you know, this version of the bread, you're also going to need some extra sugar, some extra cinnamon, and some vanilla, but we'll get to that later, okay? So let's get started. In the bowl already, I have 2 cups of flour, the sugar, the salt, and what I'm going to do, a little secret, we're going to add about a teaspoon of cinnamon right to the flour, okay? And then we're going to add our instant rapid rise yeast right to it, okay? So that's about 4.5 teaspoons, or 2 packets, okay? So let me move this over, and we're going to give that a mix. All right, there we go. So mix that up really good. Now, in here, I have our milk, our water, and our butter, and I microwaved it at like 10-second intervals until it's very warm. Very warm, it's not hot, and it's not cold, it's right in the middle, about 120, 130 degrees, okay? So, just do that in the microwave, all together, just like this. Your butter will melt, and if it doesn't melt all the way, a little chunky, perfectly fine, no problem at all. We're going to simply add this to our flour mixture, just like so. Perfect, just like that. And we're going to let that mix for about 2 minutes or so, okay? And I always like to stop it, give it a little scrape down here. Now, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can absolutely do this with a wooden spoon. Not a problem at all. You just want to make sure that it's all fully incorporated and mixed very, very well. If you are using a stand mixer, I don't know, give it about 2 minutes or so, okay? So now that that part is over, let me move this so we have some room here. Get all this out of the way. Okay, now the next step is we have our remaining flour in a bowl, which is approximately 4 cups. We're going to add this 1 cup at a time to the mixer while it's mixing, okay? You may or may not have to use all of the flour. You just want it to form a dough ball, okay? So I think this is pretty good. I'm going to give it 1 more scrape. Yep, see, it's nice and incorporated in there. Okay. Yeah, 1 more scrape. Turn it back on. All right, there we go. And we're going to add our flour, about 1 cup at a time. And you'll see it'll come together. And if your stand mixer, you know, it'll start to groan and whine like it doesn't want to do it. But it will do it. And there's no secret to this, you just want to gradually add your flour. Like so. And I'll just keep adding that. Oh, well, you can look at it. See how it's incorporating like that? You want to keep adding your flour until it forms a ball or so, and it's nice and silky smooth. I'll show you that later. I won't make it stay through this whole thing, right? So what you're going to do is once it comes to that, you know, like ball stage, you want to let it knead, switch out your paddle for a dough hook demonstration, and let it knead. You want to let it knead for about 6 to 8 minutes, or if you're doing it by hand, again, 6 to 8 minutes, okay? So I'm going to do that, and I'll see you in 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, bye. Okay, so it has been kneading for about 7 minutes, and that's what you want it to look like, just like that. So we're going to stop it, move all this out of the way, show you here, take it off the dough hook, and that's what you want it to look like, just like that. And now, this is an all-important step, we're going to let it sit right in the bowl and let it rest for 10 minutes. Very important because we're using rapid rise yeast as opposed to regular yeast. Rapid rise yeast uses a 10-minute kind of pause or rest in place of the traditional 2 rise times with regular yeast, okay? So, we're going to let them sit for 10 minutes and we will see you then. Bye. Okay, and we are back. So we let our dough rest for 10 minutes, and what I did next was I took the dough out and I divided it in half, okay? Just equally in half, and then I rolled it out into a little rectangle just like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. It can be all, you know, like all uneven and everything. It doesn't matter at all. Now, do you know when you make swirl bread, sometimes you buy them in a store, or even if you make them homemade, sometimes you have like the separation problem. You know, you cut into the loaf of bread and there's big air pockets right where the cinnamon is and everything. I'm going to show you how you can avoid that very easily. Simply the problem with that, you know, why that happens is it's a combination of steam and everything, and there's nothing to bind it, so it whoosh, separates it, you know. So you need some type of binding for it. So the best way to do that when you're making any type of swirl bread is egg. Take one egg, mix it up a little bit, and brush it onto your surface like this. Just a light coating, does nothing special. Just like this. And we're doing this before we put our filling in. And you can do this trick with any filling. It doesn't have to just be with cinnamon bread. Okay, there we go. Now what I have in here is a cup of sugar, and I have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and this is going to be our filling. To this, I also added 1 teaspoon of plain old cornstarch. Again, it'll make it a little bit thicker, and it helps with binding, okay? So we're just going to sprinkle it on, you know, 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup, however much you like. Like that. I mean, I like a lot of filling, personally. And you want to leave an edge, maybe about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, all the way around the dough. And I think that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, to that, we're going to take our cinnamon and just give it a few more little, just to darken it up a little bit and add some color and some flavor. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to roll it up. Again, this does not have to be neat, because we're going to be putting it in a pan and it's going to rise and all get together like nice and yummy, okay? So I'm going to start with this end here, so I'm going to add a little more sugar right to the end, and we're just going to start rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. We are really rolling, rolling, rolling. Like that? Like that? Huh? Tell me you like it.
You're playing with the rawhide song?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. All right. And now we got to this point. We want to pinch the edges on the bottom. Like that. This is going to be the bottom. So, kind of, you know, try to keep things from leaking out a little bit. So we're going to pinch that. We're going to tuck our end over and pinch it as best we can. Again, nothing, it does not have to be perfect. Bring it over and pinch it a little bit. Just like so. And that's pretty good. That'll work. Alright. Alright, and that is our loaf. Now we're going to put it into our loaf pan, which I'll demonstrate. I already did it, but which we have greased thoroughly. Okay? Like that. And again, I love my baking spray. Love it. Okay, so now we're going to put it in there like that. Okay? Just like so. Alright? Now, I would recommend taking a little bit of flour, sprinkling it on top, because what we're going to do... Okay, so anyway, one's done. Repeat with your second batch of dough. Okay, this recipe makes 2 loaves of dough. You can also make a different filling if you want, or if you want to make just a regular plain white loaf of bread, just omit the cinnamon in the first step, and then you have just plain white bread. So anyway, we are ready to go. So we put it in our pan, and now we're going to put it in a kind of warm place to rest for a little bit. A perfect place for that is in your oven with the light on only, okay? So we're going to put this in the oven, and we're going to cover it up with a damp towel.
Oven cam.
Like the oven cam.
Oven cam.
Cover it up with a damp towel, and we're going to walk away and leave it rise for 45 minutes to 1 hour. It'll about an inch or so above the pan, even a little bit bigger. You'll see. I'll see you in an hour, okay? I'm going to make the other one and put it in. Okay. Okay, so it has been exactly 50 minutes, and as you can see, it's a little more than an inch above the side of the pan. Now this pan's a little bit larger too, so I added a little more dough to that one. This one's a little bit shorter. I didn't tell you that because I didn't want to confuse anybody, you know, but you're making 2 loaves of bread. If you have the same size pans, definitely equal parts of dough. But anyway, so that's ready to be baked. I wanted to backtrack 1 second and tell you too, I wanted to mention that a lot of people like cinnamon raisin bread. So, you know, back up a little bit, and when we're making our cinnamon filling, add a box of raisins to it. You'll have cinnamon raisin bread, right? Anyway, so the oven is just about preheated to 375. So we're going to pop these babies into the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes. All right, we'll see you then. Okay, so it was exactly 30 minutes. It was baking at 375, okay? And at that point, you want to take it out of the oven and immediately turn it out of the pan. Now, if it happens to stick a little bit, which with the cinnamon sugar in there, it might, but it probably won't. All you have to do is run a knife around the outside of it and it'll pop right out. Mine fell right out. So you want to remove it from the pan right away and then set it aside and let it cool before you slice it. Now, we couldn't wait. We had to slice it. And this is what we have. Yum. I wish you could smell what the apartment smells like.
I know, it's a sin.
Oh my gosh. Talk about, like, you know, not good for diets, like, you know. So anyway, one thing that I wanted to show you was, now see how it's dripping out a little bit and poofed like that? It's because I cut it while it was hot. If you let it cool completely and then slice it, that won't happen. You'll have a nice little ribbon in there, and nothing will you know, drizzle out like that. Not that that's a bad thing. That just makes me want to eat it more, to tell you the truth. But anyway, we thought we would take it a step further and show you. I'm going to share with you my recipe for homemade cinnamon bread French toast. Oh yeah, Easter's coming. You whip this up for Easter breakfast. Oh my gosh. You'll be a star. Like the star of Easter, let me tell you. This is fantastic. So, we already have our homemade cinnamon bread. And you want to slice it. And I like real thick French toast. So, we're going to use a piece like that. But slice it to whatever thickness you want. I like it thick. I think you should. And in a pan, I have about a tablespoon of butter, however much you want. And then heat the pan up. And for our mixture, our egg mixture, I have a few eggs in here. I have a really big container, so I actually used 3 eggs in this. And to that, we added some milk. Again, personal preference, however much you want to add, how little, however much. I would suggest if you're using 2 eggs, to use at least a 1/4 cup of whole milk. But you can use skim, 2%, whatever. Now, some secret ingredients. We're going to add a pinch of cinnamon to it. And about a teaspoon of vanilla. Yeah, that's homemade vanilla. I made that. Okay. That was a lot.
That was a generous teaspoon.
That was definitely a generous
Vanilla
teaspoon.
French toast with cinnamon.
Oh yeah, we retitle it Vanilla French Toast. Let me smell. Oh no, it's okay. We're good. Okay. It's not bad. It is going to be vanilla-y. Is that okay? You want me to make new?
No, that's
okay. All right. No, it'll be okay. This me. Look at me trying to rush. Okay. So our pan is heated. Okay. And we're simply going to dunk our bread and let it sop up all of that yummy goodness. Okay. Get all the sides. Flip it. Let it sink in a little bit. Sound effects, you have to make the sound effects. Okay, put it in your preheated saute pan. There we go. Put that aside. Oh, I don't have my towel. Let me get the towel. Okay, and then you're going to let that fry on both sides. I would suggest about 1 minute to 2 minutes each side until the eggs are all nice and brown and cooked. Let me grab a, I don't have a flipper with me, but I guess I have time. But I'm going to let it cook for a minute there. Now, like I said before, if you wanted to add raisins to it, the raisins would be all in the swirl there, and you would have cinnamon raisin bread French toast, which I think is great too. We kind of just prefer cinnamon bread though overall though, so that's why we didn't add raisins to it. Do you like raisins?
No.
Not so
I
much.
like, you know what? I like them on their own, but I don't like them in anything.
Oh yeah. All right. All right. So let's give this. I don't have my spatula with me. All right. So let me flip it. All right. That. Now I would leave that. I'm going to flip that over once more. I'm trying to rush, so you're not bored. But anyway, I definitely at least 1 minute to 2 minutes each side, at least until the eggs are cooked and nice and brown. And then when it's all finished, plate that baby up with your favorite syrup, or my personal favorite way to eat French toast. I put jelly on it. I do. You ever heard of that before?
I've seen it, I guess.
I do like jelly.
Blasphemy to me, but
I do. It's good. No, syrup is very, very good. Okay, then give it like a sprinkle of some powdered sugar, and you are set to go. Another great idea for this, if you have little ones around, when you make your slice it into sticks, like so. Okay, and then just do it the same way. Real quick here, I'll show you. And then you have homemade cinnamon bread French toast sticks.
Yeah, how about that?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll let this finish cooking, and then we'll show you the end product, okay? All right.
Voila. I can get a good, nice close look at that. That's the French toast. Voila. Let me take the syrup out. So, I'm a very happy camper at the moment. A very happy camper.
Good.
You want to try?
That smells good. It does smell good.
I'm sampling it since we called off weigh-in Wednesday. It's perfect timing
Well, I'm going to taste it.
to not have to answer for it.
I was worried about the vanilla. Let me think.
Childhood. Sundays, my dad would always make breakfast, and every so often it was French toast.
Oh, this is so good. And you know what? The French toast is a great way, like, say you make this on a Saturday, and the next day it's not quite as fresh because, when you make homemade bread, it doesn't stay fresh as long as the breads that you buy in the store. Even from the bakery, even professional bakeries, like in grocery stores and stuff like that, the ingredients they use have preservatives in it, so you get a longer shelf life on fresh bread. When you make it at home, you don't have that. So, literally, if you don't keep it refrigerated or in an airtight bag, the next day you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell it's not as fresh, like that quick, But French toast, you can make French toast out of this bread days later, you know, and it makes it taste real good. So, you know what? That wasn't too much vanilla. I'm surprised.
No, it worked out okay.
It came
suspicious.
out. It did. I was a little afraid.
And I wouldn't spare your feelings either.
No,
It was fine.
You wouldn't.
Fine.
But
honest reviews, even yours.
No,
even of your
of
food.
Of course, I wouldn't want to give them a recipe if it was awful.
So if you used that much vanilla, it's okay.
Still fine,
It's
right?
okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed our little venture into making cinnamon bread and French toast. And if you do it, let me know. I think it would be great for Easter Sunday breakfast.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
Like that you could say, not only did I make the French toast, but I made the cinnamon bread that we're using.
Yeah.
Ah!
It'll score you points.
It'll score you points for sure. But anyway, I think what's our next little thing? We should show them what we can do with leftover homemade bread.
Well, I have a recipe for bread pudding I might actually share. It's not traditional. There's no custard with it. I do it a little bit differently.
Well, there's something new to me.
Yeah, I make it a little different. Mine's inspired a la Auntie Fee.
Oh, I remember Auntie Fee.
Remember Auntie Fee?
Yes.
If you ever watch her recipe for bread pudding, she throws some donuts in hers, but we have cinnamon bread. So
yeah.
it's a little along those lines.
No custard.
There's no eggs. Well, no eggs in it.
No eggs?
No. No eggs.
I'm intrigued.
The finished product, it's good. You'll like
Okay,
it. I've made it.
alright.
You'll like it.
Okay.
And if you don't, more for me.
True.
Well, shall we end on this high
Yes,
note?
let's end on that high note.
I think we
Oh,
should.
yes.
Well, thank you
Okay.
all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the bell to get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact info is all listed down below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch up with you all tomorrow to have a discussion of sorts. Probably come out early afternoon. Thanks for watching.
Yes, thank you. It was wonderful spending time with you.
That was for me, right?
That was so not planned. I was gonna eat that
I thought that
after
was
I
for
said
me.
my. Oh my goodness. Well, at least there's more.
It was food within 8 inches of my face. What was I supposed to do?
Yes, it was fantastic spending time with you, and thank you for
Such a fat
spending your
kid.
time with us.
Mhm.
I really hope you enjoyed our recipe tonight and our little weigh-in Wednesday. Remember, everybody, stay safe and stay well, but most of all, stay positive, okay? Ciao, we'll see you next time. Bye!